You hatch in total darkness, sealed inside a tight, humid cell deep within a giant hornet nest. There's no time to think, no time to wonder where you are or what's happening. Instinct takes over before you even know what instinct is. Food appears, chewed up, pulped remains of something that used to be alive, and you eat without hesitation. Every bite fuels your body, pushing you towards something inevitable. You don't question it, you don't stop, you just consume. And then it starts. A strange pressure builds inside you, something deep in your flesh stretching, pressing against the skin that contains you. Then a crack, your body swells, your skin splits apart, and for the first time you leave something behind. A thin, useless shell of what you used to be. But there's no time to dwell on it. More food is dropped in front of you, and you eat again, repeating the cycle over and over. Every time you grow larger, stronger, closer to what you were meant to become. Then one final, violent transformation, and everything stops. A thick casing forms around you, locking you away from the world. You can't see, you can't move, but something is happening inside. Your body is changing, stretching, hardening. Your limbs extend, your mandibles sharpen. Your wings, delicate but powerful, press against your back, waiting for the moment they will finally be used. And then, as if a switch is flipped, you break free. You tear through the shell, crawling forward without hesitation. The nest is a maze of tight tunnels, twisting in every direction. But you don't need to think about where to go. You just move forward, pushing forward, not stopping for anything. Then, light. The tunnel opens, and for the first time you see the world outside. And without a moment's hesitation, you spread your wings, push off the nest, and take flight. At 20 days old, the colony is thriving. The workers chew through wood, turning it into pulp to build and expand the nest, making it stronger, more secure. But you don't care about any of that. You're not interested in building. Your role is something else entirely. The instinct to attack is already there, sharp and undeniable. Every insect that comes too close is a target, whether it's a threat or not. A beetle makes the mistake of crawling near the entrance. It has a tough shell, but not tough enough. You land on its back before it even knows you're there, mandibles slicing through its body like it's nothing. Another insect tries to flee, buzzing away in desperation, but you catch it midair, tearing off its legs before dropping it into the ground. Inside the nest, the rules are just as brutal. Hesitation is punished. Weakness is not tolerated. Any worker that moves too slow is shoved aside. Those who get in the way are bitten. There's no mercy, no patience, no room for anything but strength and dominance. You are not a worker. You don't build, you don't repair, and you don't care about the structure of the colony itself. You are something else, something more. You are a hunter, a killer, a force that will control everything around this nest. By the time you are 25 days old, hunting is no longer just about feeding the colony. The larvae inside need a constant supply of protein, but that's not why you kill. You kill because it's what you were made for. A praying mantis moves along a branch ahead of you, its spiked forelegs raised, its head turning sharply as it scans for prey. It is a predator in its own right, but it has no idea that it has already lost. You don't hesitate. You strike, slamming into its back and locking your legs around its body before it can react. It twists, trying to fight, its powerful forelegs snapping toward you in a desperate attempt to strike. But you already know its moves before it makes them. You bite down, your mandibles sinking deep into the back of its head, crushing through its exoskeleton with ease. It flails, kicking, fighting, refusing to die, so you bite again, harder this time. The body goes limp. You don't eat it, you don't take it back to the nest. The larva would have fed on it, but that's not why you attacked. You weren't driven by hunger or need, or anything that could be explained with reason. This is simply what you are. Hornets don't collect nectar. They don't gather pollen. They don't exist to balance an ecosystem. They exist to hunt, to kill, to dominate. At 30 days old, hunting single insects is no longer enough. The colony is growing, and so is its power. This time the target is not just something to kill. It's something that must be erased. A wasp nest hanging from a thin branch, its surface crawling with workers tending to their fragile home. They are smaller than you, weaker than you, but they don't know that yet. They think their home is safe. They think they can hold their territory. They're wrong. You do not go alone. A raiding force leaves the nest alongside you, moving with a singular deadly purpose. There is no careful approach, no slow build-up before the strike. You hit first, diving straight into the swarm before they even know what's happening. You tear into the first wasp midair. Your mandibles snap through its exoskeleton in a single bite. Another defender rushes toward you, its stinger raised in a desperate attempt to fight back, but it's useless. You grab hold, crush its body, and drop it before moving to the next. The nest itself is torn open within moments. Its walls peeled apart to expose the helpless larvae inside. They squirm, vulnerable, unprotected, but none of them are taken. This was never about feeding the colony. Hornets do not just hunt. They do not just take what they need. They destroy. The wasps that survive flee in every direction. Their numbers shattered, their colony erased. You don't stay to watch. You don't need to. The nest is gone, and the message is clear. This place belongs to the hornets now. At 40 days old, the colony is at its strongest. Its numbers are rising, and its hunger is growing. The larvae demand more food, and small hunts are no longer enough. A larger source of protein is needed. A beehive. The hive is massive, swarming with thousands of workers, all moving with purpose. But there is something else. Something beneath their instinct to gather and protect. Fear. They know. They built this colony for nothing. They have protected it, filled it with honey, raised their young inside its walls, but none of it will matter. You take off with a raiding force of 30 hornets, flying straight toward the hive without hesitation. There's no need to be careful, no need to hide. The bees are prey. They just don't know it yet. The first defenders rush out, desperate, stingers raised, movements quick, their defense instinctive, but it makes no difference. They latch on to you, stabbing again and again, but their stingers cannot pierce your thick armor. You barely notice them. You bite through the first bee in a single snap of your mandibles, its body falling to the ground in pieces. Another tries to dodge, but you strike faster, grabbing hold and crushing it midair before moving to the next. Wave after wave the defenders come, but it's hopeless. A single hornet can kill 40 bees in a minute, and there are 30 of you. The entrance to the hive fills with corpses. The air thickens with the scent of crushed bodies, venom and spilled honey. Within hours, the hive is silent. The last defenders are gone. The walls have been ripped apart. The honeycomb shattered. The entire structure was broken. The larvae inside still wait for food that will never come. But they're not left behind. Workers rush in, carrying them away, dragging them back to the hornet nest where they will serve a new purpose, as food. The hive is nothing now, just an empty shell. This was not a battle, not even a hunt. It was an extermination. At 45 days old, the colony stands unrivaled. No predator dares to challenge the hornets. No rival colony can withstand their relentless onslaught. The hive is a fortress, expanding rapidly as the workers reinforce it with pulpwood, each layer a testament to their labor inside. The larvae are well fed, their bodies swelling with rich proteins stolen from their conquered foes. The air is thick with the sound of buzzing wings, a symphony of dominance, but something is changing. The days are growing shorter, the air cooler, the once abundant food supply begins to wane. The bees are gone, their hives emptied, their larvae consumed. Other insects once so easy to hunt have become scarce. The frenzy of the colony does not slow, but the atmosphere shifts. The workers move with increasing aggression. Tensions rise. They snap at each other more often, shove past weaker ones, wrestle over food scraps. The unity that once bound them begins to fracture. At 50 days old, the hunger grows unbearable. Workers that once fought side by side now eye one another with suspicion. The need for protein has not lessened, yet the supply has all but vanished. The first fights break out within the nest. The hornet lingers too long near a food source, too weak to react when others descend upon it. It is seized, crushed, and devoured. There's no hesitation, no mourning. The colony will not fall to starvation. The colony will sustain itself. Cannibalism takes root. At 55 days old, the nest is no longer the organized machine it once was. Chaos reigns. The queen still lays eggs, but no one tends to them. No one feels the larvae. They wither in their cells. Their feeble movements unnoticed. They are no longer the priority. The workers only care for themselves now. They prowl the hive like hunters, their antennae twitching, their mandibles ready. A weaker hornet collapses from exhaustion. It does not rise again. Within moments, it's torn apart, its body stripped down to exoskeleton. The strongest feast, the weakest fall. At 60 days old, the queen is dead. Her death comes swiftly. She was once untouchable, guarded by the colony's most loyal workers. But loyalty crumbles in the face of starvation. Those same protectors turn on her, recognizing the inevitable. The struggle lasts only moments. She's overpowered. Her massive body subdued, her wings shredded. The hive feasts upon its own mother, consuming the very source of their existence. Without the queen, the nest unravels further. There's no order now. The structure still stands, but it is nothing more than a husk filled with the echoes of what once was. The workers, once so disciplined, scattered in all directions. Some venture into the forests, desperate for food, attacking anything that moves. They fight among themselves, clashing midair, jaws snapping, wings beating furiously. Others fall to predators, too weak to defend themselves. At 65 days old, the first frost settles over the land. The trees stand bare. The buzzing that once filled the air has diminished to nearly nothing. The great colony that once ruled this land, the colony that wiped out hives and slaughtered thousands, has vanished. You are one of the last. Your body, once powerful, now trembles with every movement. The cold bites at your exoskeleton, slowing you down. Your wings, once strong enough to carry you for miles, feel heavier with each beat. The hunger gnaws at you, but there's nothing left to hunt. At 70 days old, the last survivors fall. One by one, the remaining hornets drop from the branches, their bodies drained of energy, their strength long gone. Some make futile attempts to fly, only to crash to the ground below. Others cling to the remnants of the past, waiting for an end they know is coming. You are alone now. Your vision blurs. Your legs, once so powerful, barely hold you upright. The world around you fades into silence. The mighty swarm is no more. At 75 days old, you take your final breath. Your body stills. Your wings twitch once, then never again. The cycle has ended. And yet deep within the ruins of the nest, buried beneath layers of protective cells, the next queens sleep. Their bodies lie curled within the chambers, waiting. They are the future. And when the warmth of spring returns, when the sun breathes life into the land once more, they will rise. And when they do, the reign of the hornets will begin again. Life as a giant hornet might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see for yourself.